Today, we talk about neuroplasticity and new milestones. Welcome back. Going to the 5th floor felt like exciting movement in Parker's recovery, a place of progress and hope. On Friday, I forgot to mention that Audrey and Andrew Taylor came for a visit, even though they had just come back from a long vacation. Their thoughtfulness to come and see us so touched us. The doctor had begun discussing rehabilitation with us that morning. And Audrey is a personal trainer in the Conway area, so she could share with us the pros and the cons of in-house rehabilitation, giving us some practical insights and encouragement for the road ahead. If you could ever use her services in the Conway area, I'll put her information in the description below. Saturday turned into a milestone for Parker. He sat up in a chair for every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That might not sound like something but simple, but each action carries a weight. Did you know that something as simple as sitting in a chair or feeding yourself is actually therapy after a stroke? Each movement, like lifting a fork, chewing slowly and deliberately because of his dysphagia, even holding a conversation, helps the brain rewire itself. These are called neuroplasticity moments. They look ordinary, but for someone recovering from a stroke, they are powerful steps toward healing. Parker worked his body that day. He showed to have 110 pounds of strength in his left hand and 38 pounds in his right, which we learned was extremely incredible for someone after having a stroke. He worked his mind by talking to me. He was concerned about how we were going to pay for these experiences, but that's for another time. Chatting with the doctors and the nurses, as well as him greeting others that came into his room. All of these are parts of his therapy. Our children and our family checked in. They were eager to hear of every sign of progress. And sometimes just hearing that Dad sat up today was enough to lift their spirits and his. But recovery comes with limitations. One thing that I didn't realize was how exhausting every recovery can be. Parker wasn't just tired. He was worn out from the effort that he took for his brain and his body to work together. Every step, every bite, every word for him was like running a marathon inside his body. That's why rest is just as important as an activity as healing requires for both. Saturday was full of conversations about medications. As I mentioned earlier episodes, Parker had gone from taking one single baby aspirin to a strict morning, noon, and evening regimen that made my head spin. I asked the doctor questions like how all of this was supposed to work, and he explained that several markers were so high, the medications were necessary to bring these things under control. When Parker went from taking that one pill a day to the long list of medications, it was overwhelming. But here's something I'm discovering, which is very important. Medications aren't an enemy. They're tools. They help bring the blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and other markers under control so that the body has a safe environment in which to heal. We believe in a holistic living and lifestyle, but in this season, the medications are necessary to protect Parker's health. We like to think of them as temporary helpers on this journey, tools. not final answers. More friends coming made our day brighter. Laura and Mark Gotcher stopped by on their way to the airport to go visit their son Corban in Oregon. He's starting a new teaching job and he wanted their input. Like ours, a wise son. He and his partner also have Nuna Farms, a small organic farming operation. I'll also put their information in the link below if you'd like to check them out. After seeing how well Parker was doing, Mark declared that he believed Parker would walk out of that hospital by Tuesday. Their faith-filled words were so inspiring. Before leaving, they prayed with us, a privilege and a reminder that prayer strengthens both our body and our soul. By evening, the day's achievements had caught up with Parker. He was exhausted. He was so exhausted that our friends, Tom and Sue Edwards, chose to postpone their visit to the next day. You know, we ended the evening tired but hopeful. I was again allowed to stay the night in Parker's room. There, I had the time to reflect, and I realized God still works through prayer, through people, and even through medicine. Sunday felt like he was reminding me again that healing often comes in one small step at a time. It also reminded me how often we overlook the everyday miracles of life and of hope. Sitting up, eating, or hearing our children's voices on the phone, maybe just reading their text. Those are victories worth celebrating. How about you? What's a simple, everyday victory you've experienced or witnessed that gave you hope? Comment below. Encourage someone else. If our story has encouraged you today, I invite you to stay connected. Just click the subscribe button or tap the little notification bell so you'll know right away when the next video is posted. Sunday held some surprises for us that we never expected, and I'll share them with you in next week's video. So I'll see you then. We are not medical professionals. This video shares our personal experiences only. Please consult your healthcare provider for any medical questions or decisions. Thanks for watching.